Hey everyone, this video is to help you understand how to read your programs that I have given you. So you've got in a sheet, you either got one sheet, 2 sheets, 3, or even 5 sheets. Every sheet is a workout day. So that means each week, that's how many workouts you'll be doing. So if you got 1, you'll do 1 a week. If you've got 5, you would do 5 a week. I've already spoken to you about when to do them. So if you don't know when to do them, just reach out to me and I'll be sure to make sure that you do them on the right days. So each sheet is a workout. What you want to do is look at how the letters are set up. So you've got a couple of different examples here. This is one example and this is another one. So here we have what they call alternating sets, A1 and A2. That means those 2 exercises are paired up together. You'll do them at once. Other people, you may have a program where it says A and there's not a number by it, and then the next exercise says B. So that means those are not paired up. So the letters go together and the number after the letter tells you where it is at in the sequence. So that's very important, so you know what to pair up and what to do before the other one. If you're at the gym and you find that something, let's say this exercise was taken and you need to go to B, okay, do your best not to do that. You don't want to flip around the exercise order. Things were written in that order for a specific reason. So if it's busy, maybe wait it out. If that time of the gym is always busy, then see if you can either restructure your day. If that's not an option, then reach out to me and we'll see about changing some things up. So pull out your workouts so you can kind of go through this. We're not going to talk about your workout. This is a general video, but you'll be able to kind of draw some parallels. So looking at your first exercise, at the top it will say what the exercise is. All right. Then you've got a bunch of boxes down here. The first column is week. Okay, week 1 through week 4. S and R stands for sets and reps. So here I've written on the board 3 sets of 10. Whatever yours applies for. Next box is the tempo. Tempo is so important. Most people have never trained with tempo. That's essentially the pace at which you lift the weight. So here we've got a 4010 tempo, which is a pretty standard controlled tempo. For instance, on a squat, that would be going down in 4, going up in 1, with no pause at the bottom and no pause at the top. Next column is the rest. That tells you how long you need to rest after you've completed this exercise. Then you've got some boxes for weight and reps, which is your logging area. The boxes you may only have 3 or 4, you may have as many as 6 or even 8. All right, don't get too caught up in how many boxes there are. There will be enough boxes for how many sets you're gonna do. There may be some empty ones at the end. Don't worry about the empty ones. So, for those of you that have an A1 and an A2, pay close attention. This is how it will work. Set number 1, you do 1 set of 10 at this particular tempo, then you'll rest 1 minute. So let's say we're doing squats. We're gonna do squats, 4010 tempo, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, get to the bottom, then you're gonna stand up quickly. That's 1 rep. You'll do 10 of those, then you're gonna take a 1 minute break. Now, this is paired up with A2, so we'll take our 1 minute break, then we're gonna come over here. All right, now we're gonna be doing, say, pull downs. All right, now we're on pull downs. We've gotta do 10 reps at a 4010 tempo, and then we're gonna take another minute break. So here, on a pull down, a 4010 tempo, you grab the bar, you're gonna come down in 1, and you're gonna go back up in 4. So it's a little bit reversed. What you wanna remember is the first number is the lengthening of the muscle. So when the muscle gets longer, that's how long you should take for the first. The first number is telling you how long that should take. The third number is how fast you're gonna move the weight or contract the muscle. So on a pull down, we're contracting this way. Down in 1, and then 4, 3, 2, and 1, and next rep. So let's say this is squats, let's say that's pull down, 10 reps, 1 minute break, pull down, 10 reps, 1 minute break. Now that's 1 set of each, and according to this example, we've got to do 3 sets. So then we go through that 3 times. You're gonna jot down your weight and your reps in those boxes. Once you've completed your 3 sets of 10 for this example, Then you move on to your next exercises, which here you'd have A1, A2, then you probably have B1, B2, C1, C2, however long your workout is, okay? Do not make the mistake of going from week 1 line and then just doing this again here. You don't move down the lines within the box. This is each week. So you actually go from A1, A2 to then B1, B2. Second week, you come in the gym, you're doing this workout again. This time you're using the second row, week 2. You're gonna do whatever it says over here on the left. Most programs are gonna be the same sets and reps each week. You might have one that's a little different, but you're gonna look back at the weights and reps that you did week 1. This is gonna provide you immediate feedback as to what weights you should do, what weights and reps could be progression. You wanna beat yourself just a little bit. You may do one more rep, or maybe go up 5 pounds on the very last set, and you do that set like that. So you wanna find a little bit of progression. We'll go through when to go up in weight in just a moment. So wrap that up. Pair up the letters, look at the numbers next to them. Once you're done with your sets and reps for that particular alternating set, then go to the B's, then go to the C's for the length of how many letters you have on your workout. Now, if you do not have alternating sets, if you have an A exercise and then a B, there's no A1, A2 or anything like that, the way it works is this. You're gonna do your A exercise. Let's just say we got a pretty standard rep scheme, 3 sets of 10, 4, 0, 1, 0 tempo, and you're resting 60 seconds. So what you'll do, let me pick up these papers. So what you'll do is, you're not gonna alternate it with anything. If this was a squat, we'll do our 1 set of 10, write it down here, 100 pounds, you get 10 reps, cool. Rest 1 minute, you sit there for a minute, recover a little bit, then you can do another set. So we've got 100 pounds there, 100 pounds there, we've got 10 reps, rest 1 more minute, then we gotta do our final set. All right, let's say, hey, I'm feeling pretty good today, let's go up to 110 and see if we can get 10. Now let's say you get like 9 or 10 reps, somewhere in there, that's great, good job. So then you'd be done with week 1 on that exercise. Then you go to letter B. You do the exact same thing for B, and then your workout will go even further. You'll have a C, you'll have a D, or you just look down. Sometimes you may have exercises that are paired up. So just pay attention to the letters and numbers before your exercise. That tells you what order to do things in and whether you need to link any of them up, okay? So if you need to rewatch that was a lot of information. Just rewind the video real quick. Okay, next thing we're gonna talk about a little more in depth is tempo. Tempo is so important. As I mentioned, the first number is the lengthening of the muscle. The third number is the shortening of the muscle or the flexing of the muscle. So we're gonna have 2 examples here. One with free weights and one with a pulley machine. So we got here a squat. If you got a 4-0-1-0 tempo on a squat, that means you're gonna take 4 seconds to go down to the floor. So the weight goes down to the earth in 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, till you get to the bottom, then you're gonna stand up in 1 second. Now, some of you may have an advanced program where your tempo is not 4-0-1-0, it may be 4-1-1-0. On a squat, that's this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's a 1 there, that means we have to hold it for 1 at the bottom of our range of motion, and then we take 1 second to come back up, no pause at the top. Okay, so sometimes there's numbers in these where these zeros are, and those indicate pauses. And the pause, the number of the time is a real-time second. So it's not kind of like a stop or a pause. It's literally come down, 1001, then you'll move. Pulley machines, looking at a pull down. A pull down of a 4-0-1-0 tempo, the average person would say, okay, we're gonna go down in 4 and up in 1 because that's what the squat was. But it's a little bit different, it's reversed. On a pull down, your muscles are shortening when you pull it down to your collarbone. So that's the third number. Take 1 second to come down in 1. Once you've got it here, you'll take 4 seconds to go back up. Now, if you have a 4-0-1-1 tempo on a pull down, what do you think, do you think you would hold that pause? So if you're going down in 1 and up in 4 on a pull down, and this 1 is after that one, where would you think you put the pause in the range of motion? Would you pause when you're at the top, or would you pause when you're at the bottom? So what you'll do, you'll pull down in 1. Now, since we've pulled down, we're down here with the bar, you need to take 1 second to hold it. So you're gonna squeeze your muscles as hard as possible in that pause. Once you've held it for 1 second, you go up in 4. Once you're at the top, there's a 0-second hold. So that's how you're gonna read the tempos. Now, if you absolutely need to have some more clarification on your tempo or that particular exercise, you need to reach out. Sometimes I walk in the gym or I find out via a video that my client is unknowingly doing the tempo backwards. And so the training effect will be completely different. For instance, you don't want to go down in 1 on a squat and up in 4. So it's not that you're dumb or you're stupid. It's just, it's hard to grasp at first. I understand that. So this video is just going to get you some tips. If you need more clarification on where to pause or how slow to go down, how fast to go up, or whatever it is, please reach out. Do not assume things. Okay. So that's our tempo. When it's all said and done, you need to control your reps. Control the muscles and control the muscles slowly when you're lengthening them and flex them quickly, more times than not. Okay, next question you might have. Okay, well, when do I go up in weight? Like, do I use the same weight all the way through? How do I progress things? Okay, within the training session, so let's say we're doing 3 sets of squats. We're up here doing this workout right here. Okay. You got to ask yourself a few questions. If you check off all 5 of these things, then it's time to go up in weight. So let's say I'm doing those squats and we're doing 10 reps of squats and I'm doing 225 pounds. All right, I was told to get 10 reps. So you ask yourself, did I get the number of reps that he wanted me to get? In this case, 10. Yes, I did get 10 reps. Did I stick to my tempo? Did I go down in 4 and up in 1? Or maybe was I going a little bit too fast? If you go a little bit too fast, then it's going to be easier and you'll be able to do more weight. So, did I stick to the right tempo? Let's say yes, we did. We went down good. Did I rest the right amount of time? Did I rest for 1 minute? Or was somebody on my equipment when I came back? Or maybe I went to the drinking fountain and something took you off of your game. You rested too long. If you rest too long or longer than you're supposed to, you'll be more recovered. If you're more recovered, you'll be able to do more weight. So don't trick yourself into thinking you're ready for more weight just because you're more recovered. So did you rest the right amount of time? In this example, 60 seconds. Let's say yes, I did. Was my form good? Or was I on my squat kind of wiggling on the way up? Or did I cheat? Maybe I didn't use a full range of motion. Various things could go wrong. Was your form good and sound as you should? So let's say that was good. The last one, is it realistic? Is it realistic for me to go up in weight? Or was 225 pounds for 10 reps way hard? Like, holy smokes, I couldn't have gotten 1 more rep no matter what. Maybe it wasn't that way. Maybe you did those 10 reps and you're like, I could probably do like another 2 more, I bet. So if you could have done 2 more, then the next set, let's go up a little bit in weight. So looking at all these 5 things, you need to ask yourself, can you check off those boxes? Sometimes you don't get all the reps. Sometimes your tempo's too quick, your rest intervals are too long, maybe the form wasn't that good, you still want to get nice and tight form, learn the exercise exactly right, or is it realistic? Another point about being realistic, when you're using dumbbells, let's say you're doing a dumbbell curl, all right? You're doing 30s, but your gym jumps from 30s to 35s. That's a pretty big jump on a dumbbell curl. If they have 32 and a half, you might be able to make that jump. But if you don't have those weights, then it may not be realistic to jump and still get 10 reps on it if you were doing bicep curls for 10 reps. So make sure that you can check off all those things to know if you should go up in weight from set 1 to set 2 to set 3. Now the other thing is, do I go up in weight from week to week? Ideally, yes, we want to lift more weight for the same amount of reps from week 1 to week 4. That would be our progressive overload. So what you will do is, let's say I got 225 pounds for all my sets of 10. The next week, I want to beat that somehow. So let's say we start again with 225 and you get 10. But this next time, we do 220 or 230 and we get 10, and then we get 230 again, but we only got 9, okay? But that's still gonna be progression, and that's a realistic progression on how much you would go up in this example. So then week 3, you maybe start at 230 and you get 10. You do 230 again, you get 10. You do 230 again, but you get 9. But this is still progression because the first set on week 2, you did 225. The first set on week 3, you did 230. So you're doing more. The last week, you want to beat it again. So in this example, one way to beat 230, 230, 230 for 10, 10, and 9 would be to get 10 reps all the way through. So that could be one option. 230 every set, and you get 10 reps all the way through. But maybe week set 3, you're like, man, I could probably do 235 for 10. And you just go up for that last one because it's your last week, it's your last set, and you're really motivated, you had a good day. Well, then go up and wait. So that's how you're going to kind of assess things from week 1 to week 4. You need to show progression from week to week. It's not going to be big jumps. You're not going to go up every set, every week, just a steep climb. You're going to go up some. So different exercises are different too. On a deadlift or a squat, your progression is going to be a little bit faster. If you're doing a bicep curl, it's not going to be as steep as a weight progression. It's going to be a little bit smaller. So that is how to go up in weight from week to week. Okay, if you have an exercise in your program that says unilateral or one arm or one leg, basically you're doing one thing at a time, then what you'll do is you will perform all the reps on your weaker limb first. Then you do not rest. You go immediately to the other limb. Once you've completed all those reps that you're supposed to, then you take your break. So in this example, if we had a front foot elevated split squat as our first exercise, we would do 10 reps on one leg, whichever one we know is our weaker leg. Then we switch legs and we do 10 reps. Why do you do your weaker leg first? Well, what could happen is your strong leg, let's say you're using 10 pounds and you get all the reps with your strong leg. You switch to the other leg and you can't get all 10. Well, what happens is that limb will never catch up to the strong one. So you always do the weaker limb first. If you fail or you cannot get all the reps, then you just match it with the strong leg, even though you know you can do more reps with that other strong leg. So the goal is to even those limbs out. If both limbs are equally strong, then you can alternate each set which one you're going to start with. Or you can always start with one. It doesn't matter. But alternating would probably be suggested. Okay? Warming up. Before you warm up, like if you want to do a cardiovascular warm up, if you like to walk on the treadmill, do some jump rope, do some rower just to kind of wake your body up, that's fine. But you need to do a weight training warm up before you lift because that's how you turn on the nervous system. The nervous system responds to weight and intensity. So you can't just walk in and say, okay, I'm going to do what I did last week. Last week I did 225 pound squat and I did 10 reps. When you walk in and do 225, you're not going to be ready for it. You're not going to have very good reps. You're probably going to be very sore and achy. So what you want to do is, we'll say warm up, WU set number 1, WU set number 2. For this example, you've got 10 reps, so I would say only 2 warm-up sets is necessary. The more sets you do, probably the less reps. So let's say you're doing 5 sets of 5, or maybe if it's even a bigger program where you're doing, 6 sets. Well, you're going to need a little bit more warm-ups because the reps are lower. When the reps go down, the weight goes up. If the weight is high, you're going to have to warm up to that weight. So in this example, the reps are kind of high, so the weight's going to be relatively low. You won't need as many warm-up sets to warm up to that weight. So here, warm-up set 1, we need to warm up on both exercises, A1 and A2. If it was this down here, we would only warm up on letter A. So we'll use this as the example, A1, A2. So warm-up set 1, our goal is to find a weight that's hard for 10 reps. So warm-up set 1, I suggest doing somewhere between 6 to 7 reps on both exercises since they are the same sets of reps. So those 6 or 7 reps shouldn't be excruciating. It should be a medium amount of weight. So if I think I can do 225 pounds for 10 reps, then my warm up for 6 or 7 reps might be 135 or 145, just for an example, about half, a little more than half of what you're looking to do. After that first warm up set on both of them, well, let's backtrack. In between the warm up sets, you don't have to rest a lot. You can probably do just 30 seconds or maybe not even rest at all, because it's such a lightweight. The next warm up set, what you're gonna do is think, okay, I just did 7 reps with 135 pounds. That was really easy. Let's throw on another 50 pounds or whatever. You need to go up some in weight. When you go up in weight, we need to decrease reps. So we'll go from 6 or 7 or less time. In this example, let's just do either 3 or 4 reps on both of them. So we went from a lighter weight to a heavier weight. We went from more reps to less reps. After those 3 or 4 reps, you need to assess, okay, I just did 185 pounds for 4 reps, and it was kind of easy. So then you know that you need to go up in weight a fair amount for your first set of 10, because you want that first set to actually be a working set, not a set that was way too easy. So that's the warm-up serves 2 purposes. 1, to actually warm up the body, and 2, to give you feedback as to what weights you need to be using for your first set. So here we'll do squat, we'll do pull down, 6 or 7 reps of squat, 6 or 7 reps of pull down, assess how hard things were, go up in weight, down in reps, again, assess how hard things were. If you have a program that's a little more lower reps, then you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 even warm-up sets. Now, if that's the case, then your warm-ups will be 2 reps, 1 rep, 1 rep, 1 rep, okay? Each of these need to be a little bit more weight. You're not trying to get a pump. You're not trying to blow up the muscles and get a sweat in. I mean, it might happen that you might get a little sweaty, but that's not the goal. It's not like a jump rope warm-up. We're trying to stimulate the nervous system and say, hey, we're coming in the gym, we need to learn how to do squats, okay? You've been sitting all day, you've been in the car, maybe you just rolled out of bed. You need to tell the body what you're gonna be asking of it. So that's the purpose of the weight training warm-up. All right, so just to wrap up, each sheet is 1 day of the week. So you'll do this sheet, let's say on Monday, you do this sheet on Wednesday, and the last one on Friday, or however we decided to split things up. Within each sheet, you do 1 week at a time. Week 1 on A1, week 1 on A2, then you go to B1, do week 1, B2, do week 1, and so on. Then the next week, you would go to week 2, of course, okay? So that's how you're gonna split up. Each one is a day, and you do 1 line per week. If you have any more questions on how to decipher and understand how things are written, or any other things related to this, please shoot me an email and contact me. I will gladly clear this up for you, because it's very important that you can interpret the workout. It's a little more details than most people are used to doing, but we're going to be tracking a lot of variables, a lot of parameters to make sure that you can reach your goals in as efficient a time as possible. So until next time, keep training hard, lift heavy things. Those treadmills don't work.